Hi there everybody, my name is Ali and today we will be going to start a new series on Active Directory because nowadays Active Directory is being used a lot in real world organizations, and especially if you are going to do any certification exam like OSCP or ELN Security or PNPT from TCM Security, then you need to understand everything about Active Directory. So today we will be going to do TryHackMe-Wreath, which will cover all of the topics regarding Active Directory. And you know that I don't actually solve TryHackMe-Room. I will show you my complete methodology that if I would be sitting in any exam, so what would I do when I get stuck in a rabbit hole? Or if I am doing any real world penetration tests, so what will I do? Or what to do when you are stuck in any of your certification exam or anyway. So I will be going to show you all of the techniques by which you will be having a strong foundation regarding Active Directory. So today I will solve this read room until task 6, where we will see all of the techniques to compromise a public facing server in an Active Directory. So that being said, let's jump in. Now coming to this TryHackMe-Wreath, we can see right here that we have this complete network right now, and all of these, there are 3 machines right here, and one of them is having an IP address which is 10.296.200, and this is a public facing server, and the other 2 machines right now are off and these are not having any IP address as well, and these are completely looks like that these are internal. So what we need to do is, first of all, I already have done connected to the network and I have started this complete network right here by clicking this start button right here. So you can do this on your own right now. So what we will be going to do is that we will be compromising the first public facing server right here, which is 10.296.200. Then we will compromise this one, and then we will do some sort of pivoting sort of stuff, and we will gain access to the second machine, and from second machine we will move on to the third machine. So in this way we will compromise all of these 3 machines into a Active Directory network. So coming to the task, now you know that I always not depend upon the task. I will do all of the things black box, so I will not see any like description right here in this tasks. I will do all of the thing manually without any help, and then I will come here at the end of this video and I will solve all of the things. So coming to task number 1, this is all introduction. This also says that what you will learn pivoting, working with Empire C2 framework, simple antivirus evasion techniques, and all of these sort of things. So the first 4 tasks are basically only the instructions how to connect the network right here. This is in task 2. You can see you need to click on network, coming to Wreath, download the configuration file, and then by simply doing open VPN you need to connect to the network, and then your network state will be running right here. Then what you need to do is then task number 3, they are again saying that we need to do some sort of penetration testing. So it says, so I heard you got into hacking, that's awesome. I have a few servers set up onto my home network or for my projects. I am wondering if you might like to access them. So coming to task number 4, this is again a very interesting thing, which it is giving you a overview about what you will do. So it's saying there are 3 machines onto the network, there is at least 1 public facing server, there is a self-hosted Git server somewhere onto the network. The Git server is internal, so Thomas may have pushed sensitive information. There is a PC running on the network that has antivirus installed, and by the sounds it is likely to be server variant of Windows, and then these sort of things. So coming to task number 5, this is the actual place we will start our penetration testing and all of the stuff. So coming to the question, I will not solve these questions, I will not look into these questions until now. So I will just close all of these right here, and now I will completely start off with my public facing server, which is having an IP of 10.296.200. So coming to the my terminal, I will first of all start off with the nmap scan. So the command which I always like to use is nmap-a for aggressive scan, -v for verbosity, and then the IP address of the target, which is 10.296.200. So hitting enter, this can take some time to run, so I already have ran it. Let's see the results right here in my Sublime text editor. Now looking at the results, we are having only right now 5 ports open. So port 22, which is SSH, port 80, which is HTTP, 443, which is SSL version of which is HTTPS, and then 9090 is coming into my nmap scan, and it is closed. So it is closed, so no use for us. Then port 10,000 is also open, and it is MiniServ 1.890 Webmin HTTPD. So Now I will show you how to do all the thing in real world as well, and when you are doing any exam as well. So first thing, you have done your Nmap scan, you have seen some ports. There are three web servers, 80, 443 and 10,000. Now 80 and 443 will be similar. We are also having our operating system in here as well, which is CentOS. Apache version is 2.4.37. And we can see that HTTP title did not follow redirect to https://thomasreed.thm. Now whenever I see any domain name, the very first thing which I will do is I will add this into my host file. So I will come into my terminal, I will say sublime host. Now I like to use Sublime Text Editor. You can use any editor like Nano, Vim or all of the things, but I like to use graphical user interface in sort of editing, and Sublime Text is one of the best which I like the most. So it depends upon you what you want to do. So I will simply type in the IP address of the public facing server right now, and you know, right now I'm not having access to any internal things. I have only public facing server, and I need to exploit this to get into the network, and then I need to pivot to the other machines. So I will simply paste the domain name right here, save this one and close this one. So this was the first thing which I want to do. So now I will go to port 80 and I will see what is running there, because I cannot do on anything on other ports. So I will simply do 10 200 96.200, hit enter, and let's see what it says. And you can see right here it redirected me to https, which is port 443 and thomasreed.thm. So I would never have seen this one if I would not have added that domain name into my host file. So always in TryHackMe or Hack the Box, if you are having any machine, always if you see any domain name, put it in your host file. Otherwise you will never see any web page. You will have any error like 404 not found or something sort of that. So I will accept the risk and continue. And right here you can see I'm having a website which is saying something sort of that, hi, I am Thomas Reed. Now you are in an Active Directory. So in Active Directory, one of the most important thing is that you look for usernames and sometimes critical information like email address or phone number or any of these sort of things, because these are very important, especially in Active Directory. Why? Because in Active Directory, sometimes what happens is that there is a username. Let's say right here in this case there is Thomas username, Thomas Wreath. So what happens is that the same user is having the same password. So the username might be Thomas, the password will be Thomas, or the username might be Wreath, the password will be Wreath. So that's why in Active Directory I would always recommend you that you should always take note of critical information. So the same thing belongs to in real world as well, and the same thing in any certification exam as well. So what I will do is I will make another Sublime Text file and I will say users. Let's do users, hit enter, and now I will type in some manual things. Now this is where a lot of creativity and doing a lot of things yourself helps us a lot. So now I know that Thomas Reed is the username, but I will not write only Thomas Reed. So I'll start off with Thomas. The second name will be Reed. The third name will be Thomas again with capital T. Fourth name will be Reed again with capital W. And then I will do Thomas Reed, then I will do Thomas Reed, and then I will do capital T Reed, then T Reed, and I am having 8 usernames. Might be possible, some might work, but there is no issue that you don't do these sort of things, because you need to do these sort of things. Sometimes these works as well. So this is the first thing which I will do right now. The second thing which I will go for is I will look over to the website and see if there is any critical information. So coming down, it looks like that this is a static web page. So if I do /index.php, let's see if PHP is there. File not found. So that's strange error. If I do anything random, let's say this thing, not found. So on index.php it is giving me an error of file not found. So looks like PHP might be working, but on any other thing, if I do anything random, it is giving me not found. So might be PHP might be present here. The other thing what I always do is I will look for Wapalyzer extension, and I will see what sort of technologies are running and what sort of backend technology is running. And you can see right here, programming languages PHP 7.2.24. so PHP is working right here. So it gives me an idea of what I can do here or what I cannot do. So coming back to the main page, let's see what we can do right here. Then system administrator, software developer, Thomas Reed development, some countries right here. Then I'm having educational information of this person, I believe, books, tech, hiking, and I'm having address as well. So this one might be interesting as well. Then I'm having phone number as well and mobile number as well. And here I'm having email as well, which is not leaking any username. So complete static page. Now, until now, what I will do is I will start off with something sort of, let's say, Nikto vulnerability scanner, or I can do Nmap script scanning as well. But before doing those sort of things, it is best practice is that you look other web servers as well which are running right here. So what I will do is I will see into my Nmap scan. So in my Nmap scan, I can see that on port 10,000 there is another web server running. So let's see what is running right there. So I will come here and I will simply do the same thing, http://10.200.96.200, and then I will simply say it at port 10,000. And it is giving me an error, document follows, this web server is running in SSL mode. So I think so I should do https, so https:// now advance, accept this and continue. And it looks like that yes, this is working. So now right here I am having a login page. Now login page are always interesting. You know that I found some users. So the very first thing which I will always do is admin. It says an error message and it is redirecting into session_login.cgi. Then I will go for admin and password. And finally, if it doesn't work, I will go for that one. So I'll do, let's say, Thomas and Thomas. We can do a brute force attack as well. And it says error, access denied for 1050. The host has been blocked because of too many authentication failures. So there is a lockout policy as well. So I need not to do brute force attack right here onto this page. So I need to figure out what I can do. So now I am having a overview that there are two web servers running. The one of them is on port 80, the other one is on port 10,000. Both of them are HTTPS, so no HTTP. Now I will move on to some other things like Nikto vulnerability scanner, or I will go for Nmap scripting scans. The other thing which I can do is, the very first thing which I will always do is I will go for Google. So I will go to Google and I will say that do I have any exploit for these sort of versions, because sometimes that might help as well. So on port 80 there is Apache 2.4.37. so I will copy this right here and I will go to Google and let's say Apache exploit. And right here we are having a CVE details for Apache HTTP server version. Let's see this one. And I am having some CVEs. One of them is overflow, not interesting. Then it is bypass. It says Apache. If I zoom this out, in Apache HTTP server 2.4 release 2.4.37 and 2.4.38, a bug in mod SSL when using per location client certificate verification with TLS. And always these sort of bugs are not interesting as well. Let me see. Allowed a client to bypass. So it doesn't look interesting. There is no exploit which I can see. So by sending request bodies in slow loris way to plain resources. So this is something regarding DDoS attack. So not interesting. Okay, so let's come back to our Nmap scan and let's see the second web server which we are having, which is MiniServ 1.890 exploit. So I will copy this again and I will come to Google, paste, and I will say exploit. And we are having few exploits. So right here, if I change my theme to white, so it might be much more visible to you. Okay, so now what I will do is I will simply see exploit, and it is unauthorized as well. So we don't need to have any sort of credentials for this one. Let's see this exploit first of all. What it's doing for Webmin 1.890. This is a Python exploit which he has written. So if I click on this one, and here we have the exploit. It is quite short exploit, and it says Webmin 1.890 expired remote root. So usage Python 3 exploit.py host port and command. So we are having a command execution right here. Let's see the URL is this one. So it is going to target, then the port, then on password underscore change.cgi. So something is wrong in password change. If I come here to the function exploit, it is having target, port, URL and command. So in the header he is saying referer http, then the target port session underscore login. So he is adding a header, and then in the payload he is having, I think so, this is parameters. So user parameter is having a value of got root. Then there is another parameter expired, and after expired parameter he is having a pipe sign, and after a pipe sign he is having a command execution. So let's try to download this exploit, and let's try to use this exploit as well, and then let's go for manual exploitation as well, because I think so if you are doing these sort of things, always do things manually. Don't rely on exploits, especially in exams as well. So sometimes this happen that some exploit doesn't work, but let's try to download this exploit, and let's see wget, paste in the path of the exploit, and it will download that exploit into my current working directory. So if I open this in Sublime Text, hit enter, and let's see. So Python 3 exploit.py host port and command, and he in example IP address, then I need to specify the port and then ID. So let's see if we can run this one. So Python 3 webmin, then the IP address which is 10.296.200, and then I will specify the port which is 10,000, and then I will specify, let's say, who am I. So hit enter. Let's see if it works or not. And it is giving me an error message, Perl execution failed, your password has expired. And right here I can see that I am having a command execution, and my who am I got executed, and I am having a root. So let's try id command. Will this work? Yes, so I'm having the contents of I am having the output of id file. We can also do cat etc password. So I need to add it in single quotation because there is a space in between. So let's see, and here we have the etc password file. So this was automated way downloading an exploit and getting command execution, and this was fairly easy. Now if you are going into any exam like ELN security, OSCP, or all of those things, so what you might find somewhere will be like there might be somewhere cross-site scripting, sorry, not cross-site scripting, there might be somewhere SQL injection, there might be somewhere file upload functionality. So those basic things, and you can simply try to exploit those and get onto the box. So in here there was a web server on port 10,000, and that is vulnerable to command execution. So now I can try to get a reverse shell as well. But if I see the script right here, what he is doing is he is echoing out the contents of the file, or he is doing echo. So adding a reverse shell in echo command, I think so might not work. It will not give me a reverse shell. So this exploit, what I can do is I can change the exploit from here, remove the echo command, and do all of the things manually. But I will not change this exploit. I will show you all of these techniques manually, how things work, and we will use Burpsuite for that one. The other exploit which we can use is if I go to Google and if I come back here, one more step back, and I can see right here that it says Webmin 1.890 exploit unauthorized CVE 2019-15107. So what I can do is I can simply search for this sort of thing as well. So I'll do CVE 2019-15107. So sometimes this might help us as well, and I can also go for GitHub and all those sort of things. So let's add a GitHub as well. sometimes there are proof of concepts on GitHub as well. So there is this GitHub, then this is Mural and Oracle, who is the owner of this, or who has created this actually network, Wreath network. So we can try this thing as well. So let's try to use this exploit. Again, Python script, there are some requirements which needs to be installed as well. So let's git clone this complete repository. So I'll do git clone, paste the link of that repository, and it will clone it into my current working directory. It's done. ls cd into cve ls, and there is Python file. So I will simply do pip3-m install requirements.txt. I think so. It's not -m, but let's try. Hit enter. Yes, -m is not there, I think so. pip3, it is -r for requirements file. Or let's see what is actually. So if I come down here, sometimes we cannot. Yeah, so right here it was this one. So pip3 install -r requirements.txt and collecting argument path. So all of the dependencies which are required, it will install that one. So what I will do now is I will simply do ls again, and I will simply do python 3 cve, run this exploit, hit enter, and it gives me the help menu right here. So the help menu says that you need to specify target at the end, and all of these options are optional because they are in square brackets, so I will not specify that one. So I will simply specify the target, which is 10.296.200. Hit enter now, and it has connected. Server version is this one. Should be vulnerable. Beginning the payload, the target is vulnerable and has obtained the shell. So I think so I'm in a shell. So if I type in who am I am root, so I can have a command execution, and I have a proper reverse shell here as well. So pwd, I am in /user lib exec webmin. So if I do cd ////// and if I now do pwd, I am still in that directory, so I cannot get out of this directory. Why? Cd pwd, I'm still right here. So something might be strange going on right here, or I think so I'm in some sort of restricted shell. Cat etc password, it is working. So why I cannot cd pwd? Okay, that's strange. So I'm having some sort of restriction right here. So the easy way to bypass these sort of restrictions is to try to get a reverse shell again. So what I will do is I will go to payload all the things and payload all the things. So now I will go to reverse shell cheat sheet. So right here what I will do is I will copy any payload. The one which I like to use one the most is the Python one, which is this one. So I will copy this complete payload right here. I will come here, I will paste the payload, change my IP address and port, and I will start a reverse shell listener here. So netcat-nvlp, and the port I like to use is 4444. Hit enter. Coming back here, I will change my port and IP. So 4444. IP address, my local IP address. So 10. Let's see what is my local IP. ifconfig 1050.76.181. So 1050.76, and let's hit enter. So I got an error message, Python command not found, and I didn't got a reverse shell again. So what I will do now is I will try to change Python to Python 3, because sometimes Python doesn't work but Python 3 does work. So Python 3, hit enter now, come back to our listener, and now I got a reverse shell. And coming back to now who am I am root. If I do pwd, I am in the same directory, cd pwd, and now it does work. So now I can upgrade my shell and I can do all of the things right here. I am having a root access, no need to do privilege escalation and those all of sort of things. So Now I will do a lot of things to do some sort of pivoting and all of the other stuff, and I will utilize all of the tools. But right here, let's exit out from here and let's do all of this thing manually. So I will exit out from here as well, clear the screen, cd dot dot. And now sometimes what happens is that you download an exploit from Google if you are in any exam or all of those sort of things, and if you run the exploit, that exploit doesn't work. And let's assume that you don't know how to to change the exploit and do all of those sort of things. So let's do all of the things manually now. So what I will do is, or what you will always do it when you are sitting in your exam, always Google the thing and look for any sort of blog post which you are having. So what I will do is I will do Webmin again. So Webmin 1.890 exploit, and this time I will not say GitHub. But if yeah, let's remove GitHub and let's see exploit. And then we can see some blog posts right here as well, remote command execution. Let's go for this medium one. So let's click on this one. And coming to this exploit, we can see right here, scroll down, it is also having a GitHub link as well. So coming back again, let's see how to exploit this thing manually. Or what else we can do is we can see this exploit DB, but this is 1.92. So coming to this one, let's see what it says. Scroll down. Yeah, so I'm having some public exploits and those links again. So there is no exploits or medium blog post, or let's see, package storm also here, but I'm not having any blog posts, so that's fine as well. What we can do is we can now try to look at this exploit. So I downloaded an exploit which gave me a root access. So if I do ls and open this in Sublime Text, I think so I already have done that one. Yes, this one. So looking at this exploit, what it is doing actually is it is specifying a header message, and in header he is having a referrer header. Then he is specifying the payload, and the payload might be a post request or a get request. So these are parameters. So I will do these sort of things as well. And then he is using a curl command. So let's do all of those things in manually and go into Burpsuite. So he is going into password change parameter, and let's see. So coming to my this page, so I will go to now password change, and I will also start my Burpsuite. So coming to my Burpsuite proxy http history, let's see if it works. So now if I go to password underscore change dot cgi advanced accept risk, and let's see my Burpsuite, I am having a request right here. So let's see this one and send the request to repeater, so we can manipulate this request. And looking at this request, I am not having those sort of things. So let's try to do these sort of things manually. So what I will do is let's come back to my exploit, and he is adding a referrer header. So I will add the same header and I will change this one. So let's copy, let's paste this referrer header somewhere in my requests, and I will change my IP and port. So my IP and port will be 10.296.200. Then port will be also here, so 10,000. And the other thing is the payload. So the payload is user is this sort of thing. So this looks like that it is a parameters, so these sort of things. And then after that, let's try to add id parameter or id command. So after a pipe, and if this is like this, so I need to change the request from get to post, because in post the parameters are at the bottom. Hit send now. Let's see what happens. And I got an error message that Perl execution failed, your password has expired and a new password must be chosen, at this sort of thing. So right now I'm not having any sort of command execution right here. Let's see who am I. So not working right here. If I do anything, something sort of single quotation, not work. Again single quotation, so it becomes double quotation, not works. So I need to figure out how I can do these sort of things manually. The other thing which I can do is I can try to go to the domain name. So if I do like right here Thomas-Wreath, so .thm, hit enter now, and coming back to my Burpsuite proxy HTTP history, this one, let's send this request again to repeater. Let's go to repeater and let's try to copy all of the things from here. If I copy the referrer header as well, request number 2, paste, I will change this one again to thomasreath.com.thm. So thomasreath.thm, port 10,000. Let's change the host as well, thomasreath.thm 10,000. Change the request to post, and let's add the parameters as well. So these parameters, paste, hit send now, and your password has expired, a new one must be chosen. And you can see right here I am having my username, which is root. So my now command is working absolutely fine. So that was the problem regarding, I think so, the domain name. So the IP address was not giving me the exact result, but right now I am having the exact result. So in your, like when you are sitting in your exam and doing sort of things, always go and look for the exploit manually, try to see where the problem actually is. So you can copy all of the things from exploit as well, you can copy all of the things from the some blog post as well, and try to do things, try to be creative and do things manually. So you can see right here I'm having who am I command, I can do id as well, and I'm having a proper remote code execution. So my id command is executing right here. So now the next thing is getting a reverse shell, and getting a reverse shell is fairly easy. What I can do is I can simply go to payload all the things, scroll down, copy any payload. Let's copy this bash payload, change it, and coming to Burpsuite right here, paste it right here. And in Burpsuite, always don't forget to do URL encoding, because there are some spaces in here and Burpsuite doesn't do it by itself. So I will set port 104444, IP address which is my local IP 1056.181, and I need to do URL encoding. So I will select this all, Control U. Now it is URL encoded. I will come back to my terminal. I will start a netcat listener, netcat-nvlp, port 4444, hit enter. Now coming back right here, hit send, coming back to my terminal, and here you can see I got a reverse shell. So this is how actually things goes on. We do manual stuff as well, and we do automated stuff as well. So if automation does work, always go for that one, but don't quit on if that automation is not working. Try to see the manual things, because sometimes you need to change a few things to get a reverse shell. So what I can do now is I can do who am I am actually, who am I am root. So this is how actually you compromise a public server by finding different exploit, and this was as easy as possible. And this is a Linux machine, I think so, yes. So now what we need to do is we need to do some pivoting sort of stuff, and hopefully in this video it was all about this one, to compromise a public server. And hopefully in the next video I will be going to show you now what to do when you are, where you have compromised the public server, what to do pivoting, how you will figure out that whether I need to do pivoting or not, or whether what to do actually from here to get access to the other domains or other computers and those sort of things. So coming back to the try hack me questions until task 6, I believe. So coming right here, and again I will not recommend you that you solve this room by completing these sort of things. Always try to do the things black box, and then at the end come here to answer the question. So the questions were fairly simple, and I don't think so these are really interesting, but let's try to solve this one. So how many of the first 15,000 ports are open? So I saw 4 ports were open, 80, 443, 22 and 10,000. So that's correct. What operating system? So it was CentOS, we saw in our Nmap scan. So it was CentOS. Open the IP in your browser. What size does the server try to redirect you? So we saw this in my Nmap scan as well, that the server is redirecting to redirect to https://thomasstreet.thm. So coming back, and I will simply paste this URL in, hit submit, and then this is the correct one. Then it's saying that you need to add this into your host file, so completed. And it says read through the text on the page. What is Thomas' mobile phone number? So I told you that getting the critical information is very important. So scrolling down, we are having a mobile number of this one. So let's paste this mobile number, click on submit. Look back at your service scan results. What server version does Nmap detect as running here? So this was, I think so, Webmin. So coming into Nmap scan, it is MiniServ 1.890, I think so. Let's see. No, so look back. What server version does Nmap detect as running there? So server version. So is it this complete sort of thing? Let's see. Submit. Yes, so it was this one. And what is the CVE number? So we found out the CVE was 2019 15107. So I will simply do CVE dash 2017 dash 15107. Hit submit now. And this is a wrong answer. Let's see. Let's see what we downloaded into my ls. CVE 2019 15107. So CVE 2017 15107. So let's see. Okay, so I don't need to add, I think so, the dash. Click on submit now. No. If I do remove this CVE, submit, that's strange because I am entering the correct CVE. So CVE, no. So let's see. Let's look at the hint, what it's saying in the hint. So CVE, yeah, so I'm following the correct syntax. So if I do CVE 2017 submit, let's go to Google now. So I will go for Webmin 1.890 CVE. There is another one which is CVE 2019 15231. So let's try this one. 2019 15231 15231. No. So let's see. It's saying the unauthenticated one. So if I see which one is unauthenticated, let's go to CVE details. So there are a lot of CVEs for this one. Let's search for unauthorized somewhere. I can see if I search for Control F, unauthenticated, no, there is nowhere. If I search for authenticated, let's see. I cannot see any authentication right here. Let's come back to our terminal. It was CV 2019. That's strange that this is not the correct one because I have a remote code execution with this one, and if it's not working, submit, and it does work. So I think so I was having something wrong with my syntax. CVE Okay, so it does work. I think so I did something wrong. I am not sure why it happened, but this is the actual CV. And then we have everything we need to break to this machine. So let's keep going. So let's come back to task 6 as well, exploitation. And it says, yeah, so he's saying we need to do CVE 2019. He's running that one. He's getting the shell. So completed. Which user was server running as? So it was running as root because we gained root access. So submit this one, and this one is completed. This one is completed. Stabilize the reverse shell. We will do this in the next session. What is the root user password hash? So we can simply cat out the etc shadow file, and we will get the root user password hash. So copy this all, paste it here, click on submit. Correct answer. What is the full path to this file? You won't be able to crack the root password hash. You might be able to find a certain file that will give you consistent access to root user file. So we will see these sort of things in our next session, but that file is called that is in the home directory of root user in .ssh, and that is called id_rsa, and I will let you know what id_rsa will be. And we will make our persistent shell, so we can simply ssh into that one. So submit now, and this one is completed as well. So this was all about today's video. We compromise a public facing server. So in the next video we will be going to do pivoting. We will see different tools how to do pivoting, and then we will compromise the other machine, and then we will move on. So that was all about today's video. So hopefully I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.